let's just record another little piece. So the situation is this: when you have, in UML, when we draw a UML diagram of classes, which we talked about prior to this, your UML diagrams look like this for classes, right? Basically a box, flat box with 3 sections: name, attributes, and methods. Methods, by the way, include constructors. Constructor is a method with a very specific purpose: to initialize parameters of the instance of the class as soon as it is being created. But the keyword extends that is used in Java in UML will look like this: basically an arrow with a hollow triangle. Okay, so hopefully that's okay for you to observe. Now, yet another view that I'd like to introduce here is when what happens in memory, how my 3D boxes look like, what is going on in memory. So Earth hasn't changed. Earth was a box like this, and it hasn't changed, right? This whole line of code really hasn't changed for the Earth. It's using the planet class. I already know exactly how its default constructor delegates its work to another constructor, and the syntax seems to be working, so I'm happy with that. So now I want to use this particular constructor and in general deal with the fact that one class inherits from another. The picture is this is the box which kind of represents the planet class. Let me make a copy of it. Control C, Control V, make a copy. And then when the gas giant is constructed, because it extends the planet, it wraps itself around this this box. So this is how the gas giant is going to look like. It's going to wrap around this box and be a wrapper around already existing structure. Or if I changed like a flat view, then this would be my planet and this would be my gas giant, which kind of wraps around it. Because we say that this new class has everything that the class that it inherits from has. And by the way, this will be the giant and this will be the planet on UML diagram, right? So this is the planet right here, P, and this is the G for the giant. Okay, so this is depiction of the UML diagram. And finally, before we take a break, just one last thing is that for this to work, because we have a problem with the data attributes being declared private, the solution is that we can delegate the work, as we were able to delegate the work from this constructor to another constructor which is present. We can delegate from the derived class, the subclass, to a superclass. And there's a super keyword there, which says name, mass, count of moons. I'll save this by typing it in, by copying those names. And here you go. I can do this. I can delegate the work to the constructor of the inner class by saying, or base class or the superclass, by saying, let me call this particular constructor of my planet, because what happens is that it is constructed before the inner class from which we extend is constructed just before the outer box is constructed. So we call it chain of constructors. So first, the constructor of this object is invoked, number one, and number two, the constructor of the superclass is invoked, and it also executes. But the syntax allows us to chain constructors to say specifically when the gas giant is constructed, we want to invoke the superclass right here constructor with this set of parameters, which of course delegates the work to a very specific constructor, right? So this is the constructor business, and you can sense that it does come with a certain territory of things, and you know it's interesting work that we're doing with those constructors. So let's take a break.